A commercial dispute is a business dispute, really. And that means it's a dispute between a business and another business, or it's a dispute between a business and a customer or a client. And it's really usually what underlies that dispute is some disagreement. Could be a disagreement over the way the contract's being performed, could be a disagreement over what you've delivered as against to what you promised and what they expected to get from you. Those type of issues. It's commercial disputes usually have something to do with a dispute over a quality of a product, over the price of that's being charged, over someone not fulfilling their obligations in some way. But essentially a commercial dispute is anything that falls into disagreement in the normal running of your business, either between you and another business or with a customer. So, for example, a commercial dispute between two businesses would usually commence with those businesses going into some sort of contractual relationship together. The contract's being performed, somewhere along the line, someone says, "Whoa, you haven't done something you said you're going to do, and I'm not happy with that." Or the contract says you're to do this, this, and this, and you haven't done that. Or you were going to do this by a certain time and you haven't done that. Or you said you were going to charge this for these sort of services, you haven't done that, or you've overcharged us. Those types of things lead to commercial disputes. Commercial dispute between a business and a customer or client, again, usually sheets home to the customer being dissatisfied in some way with what the business has done. And wants to raise an issue about that. And if the business doesn't agree, there's a disagreement that leads to a dispute. Commercial disputes actually covers a very wide area. As I said, it can include disputes with people in business with other businesses. They are often like partnerships, joint ventures, those type of things. Where more than one business comes together for a common project and they all have obligations under the joint venture agreement. But commercial disputes really include anything that involves disputes over property and money. So that can include, for instance, property disputes. It can include divorce disputes where the divorced couple is arguing over division of property. That's a commercial dispute. Commercial dispute can include a dispute with a financier, with someone who's with a bank that has a mortgage over a property of yours. So what isn't a commercial dispute, for instance? Well, if I could just start off with the family law example, a divorcing couple who are arguing over who's going to be the main carer of the children is not a commercial dispute. A person who's arguing over whether or not you have trespassed upon their property or something like that is not a commercial dispute. Any criminal matter is not a commercial dispute. Someone who is upset with a government department and wants to enforce some administrative law right against that government department is not a commercial dispute. Anything to do with human rights is not a commercial dispute. What underlies most commercial disputes are commercial interests. So if two businesses are having a dispute, they each have identified to themselves what they think their relevant interests are, and there's a clash between those interests. And to resolve that dispute as a commercial dispute involves understanding fundamentally what the commercial interests are in play between those parties. Commercial disputes are premised on there being commercial interests of two or more parties that are involved, usually based on some contract, and it's based on commercial relationships which have brought those parties together. So when a commercial dispute happens, it's usually because there's been some upsetting in the commercial relationship because somehow they're not working well together, they're not getting on well together, there are personal issues between them that are affecting that business relationship, or there's a clash of commercial interests. And each side has a particular view about their commercial interests and what they need to do to protect it and safeguard it. And if they think it's at threat, that's what will lead to disagreement and to a commercial dispute. And that's what we get involved in. We get involved with helping businesses resolve commercial disputes and to resolve them as quickly as we can, as efficiently as we can, cost effectively as we can, and at all times paying a lot of attention to protecting the valuable commercial relationships.